I got a bag for someone who can show me any highlights of Amenya doing anything on the football field. Still. And we're back, people. Deluded, I'm back again. You've been calling and crying for Amenya. We've got him back on the platform. How you doing, my guy? How you doing, family? You right?
I was doing all right initially until I heard that little sly comment. You, first and foremost, how many years you been on YouTube? You're reloading that same goal for the last 5 years, bro. Where's the other
Ronaldo's clips against Arsenal when he scored from like 40 yards against Almunia still did it.
The other clips, bro. There's compilations. There's no compilations.
Where's yours?
Bro.
I'd rather be a one-hit wonder than no hits. You can still get paid off.
I'll load mine, bro. Don't worry. I'll load mine, bro.
Monkey D still gets called up to do things. I see you put on Instagram you used to be a left winger.
When guys don't really score, it's like, yeah, they got to reload that same goal all the time. I
get it. Look, man, don't even know you're an Arsenal fan. I do slappers, bro. Listen, my thing's different. I'm like Declan Rice. Nah, it's all love, man. You saying though, man?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. Obviously, we win. Certain other teams lose. So, you know, I cannot complain, man. It's been a good week so far.
It's been a great week, man. I got a bunch of things to ask you. Before we get into the nitty-gritty and all of that kind of stuff, yeah, I just want to kind of test the temperature of how you're feeling, because obviously if I share my screen, Arsenal's results this season from our 5 games in all comps, we beat Man United, we beat Leeds, took us tumble against Liverpool, in which it took a wonder goal for us to concede, doing quite well in that front, beat Forest, beat Atletico. While it's only 5 games and there's a lot of football to be played, like, how are you feeling as a Gunner, man? The good, the bad, the ugly? Let us have your real thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, obviously, results-wise, not too bad. Liverpool is like not ideal. Obviously, we lost there. But again, I don't think it was a terrible performance. I think defensively, we always knew we were going to be pretty locked down in pretty much any game, right? We're not going to go anywhere and cause that many problems. But I can't lie, there's still some teething problems going forward, man. But again, like,
get into specifics.
Where do we begin? You know what it is? I guess we can start right from the very top then, yeah. Obviously, Victor Gyökeres, we know he's going to score bare goals, but at the same time, it's like, I know any game that he doesn't score, the rivals are there writing their notes, waiting for the compilation to be made. Then as soon as he scores, boom, like, it's over. But obviously, still a little bit clunky for now. I don't know if that's going to be something that's like a pre-season or you give it a few weeks.
I think we have to accept that's just him, you know.
It might be. I mean, I've been on this platform. I was telling you guys about him before, but now that he's at Arsenal, I have to, lower it down a little bit and be like, yeah, man, that's the dog. Start doing the celebration, start doing everything. But yeah, obviously Saka not being fit is not helpful either. But Madueke has been surprisingly decent, to be fair. So I cannot complain on that front. And then on the left, it's like, yeah, boom. Obviously, we all wanted Eze, were loving the fact that Eze came. I just didn't want him to be the touchline winger that he is. But at the same time, I understand that it's a new system for him. So give it a few weeks, and I feel like he will be cooking again. And he had a nice debut, to be fair. So I'm not mad in it. I'm chilling.
I don't think anyone can disagree. In relation to Madueke Gyökeres, I'm going to circle back on that. But you said something. You mentioned us being good defensively, in which it's a fact. We're one of the, if not the best team defensively in the Premier League. We've obviously shown that number of years. Champions League, you see what we do. Worst comes to worst, we might have criticisms about what we're doing in the final third, but we're a stubborn unit. I want to ask you something here, and I know, how do I make it make sense? Like, the way the media spins stuff, not just about our club, but others, is quite interesting. I'm actually happy we're good defensively. Obviously, I want us to play free-flowing football and add other balls to our arrow, yeah? But you saw how Chelsea looked dislodged defensively. You see Man United against City. It's like how do you feel about that? Because we're called a defensive side, and then you look at how these sides are playing. They're not criticized for how they are actually defending or being open defensively. They make it out like it's a bad thing that we're actually good defensively. That's just me.
You know what it is? I'll give you an analogy, if you will, right? When it was like, let's say, late Arsene Wenger times, when we're kind of going to every top 4, or as it was then, every team just getting slapped on the head. It was one thing. It was like, oh, you're too like naive, blah, blah, blah. Like, grow up,
only
be
play
a
one
man.
way in that.
Now, it's like, boom. The bullies that used to shove our head in the toilet, we're getting our get back now. They don't like it. So they're lashing out. So now they're saying, oh, set piece FC, oh, you just know how to like defend and spam 8 centre backs or whatever. When it was Chelsea in 04-05, we were saying, yeah, these villains are cold. Like John Terry at corners, yeah, long day. Now it's like, whatever we do, you're not allowed. So
They said we ain't got cojones.
Exactly. So they're all saying that. Now that we're not letting our head get squashed in the toilet like that, like we're getting bullied, they're the victims now. You have to hold that, bro.
No, Amenya, facts. I just wanted to hear it because for me, I say I don't want to sound like a broken record. So I just wanted to hear another party. I always say with Arsenal fans, yeah, stop biting at the rage bait and everything. We all know these media houses, they talk about Arsenal, they get clicks, they get engagement. They don't necessarily care if they're speaking facts. And I always say Arsenal fans, whether it's me, Amenya, or whatever, we barely care about what the fellow Arsenal fan thinks. You know, there's a lot of division. So why care about what rivals have to say? If we was great going forward, as Amenya used to say, when what alluded to as we used to, they dunked on us. We're good defensively, they're dunking on us. All we can do is win trophies. And that's actually a good question. Where's that comment? Gooner has said, realistically, what do you man think we'll achieve this season? Oof. You first, man. You're the guess.
Is that a prediction or is it what I expect, what I want? Like,
I don't know, man.
Ooh.
Interpret it however you want, man. Okay, what your prediction is, what your expectation, everything.
I'll go with what I think will happen.
Don't break my heart.
It will definitely be a top 2 thing. I don't think City are going to be in this race, although I do respect City, and again, they could give us a serious game on Sunday. I do think it will be Liverpool, Arsenal, but I think we'll go down to the wire this time. I think last year, obviously, people can say like you put eggs in the wrong baskets or whatever. The gap kind of was just increasing by the month. I think it will go right to the very end in that one. I guess I kind of have to say Arsenal win it, and you know what it is? I know what we're capable of. I don't know what they are yet in terms of like, you know, Isaac, Ekitike, Verts. I don't know how well that's going to gel. So it's hard to call what they will do, but I know that Arsenal will do more than they did last season. Champions League wise, so it was what, quarterfinals, semi-finals.
Maybe the stars are aligning.
The only issue would be that we're going to end up losing that final to then go again. If that's
dead. Yeah, you're right.
The thing is going, it might not bang. I can't lie. It might not bang. But see what you put.
I ain't got the heart for that again, man.
This is why I'm not sure about Liverpool. Like, I don't know because realistically, and I don't know if guys will agree with me. Yesterday was probably the only game that I would say Liverpool like deserved a win outright. Out of all these 5, I remember Amenya was giving him a torrid time. Newcastle should have had I don't know how many goals when it was that
10 men. Newcastle as well.
Obviously, Arsenal again. I think we can all agree was pretty much. Shake hands, 0-0, everyone go home. No one deserved.
Then he had a tremendous free kick.
Burnley, they defended valiantly. Obviously, yeah, it was a 10-man behind.
Hannibal being an idiot.
Hannibal being a fool in the 95th. And then yesterday, by all means, they deserve to win that one. So it's hard to know if it's like is it performance of a mentality of champions or is it this is looking a bit shaky.
What do you put it down to then?
What the last minute goals?
Yeah, what you've seen of Liverpool, because is it mentality? I know what you're alluding to. It's like, you know, if you have jammy performances, but you get the results, that's the sign of a champion's winning when you're not necessarily playing well, or things going wrong. Or is it like at some point, results and your performance or what you warrant kind of happens? Because obviously at Arsenal, you're right. We could have a draw would have been the fair result against Liverpool, but at the end of the day, they did what they needed to do. I think we kind of had that against Man United in that the performance weren't there for us, but we grabbed the 3 points. So with Liverpool, would you put it down to as hard as it is? Because like you said, they got new players and all that.
Well, for me, like I've been saying from time, not just this season, previous seasons, before like the first international break, obviously it was a bit earlier this time, but normally it's like 4 or 5 games or whatever. In my opinion, I don't care about the performance. Go and get the points on the board. And then you start working on the slight teething problems. You know what's working, what's not working. So for them to get the first 3 wins or 4 wins, 4 wins, however many before international break, it's like, fair. You got
3 difficult games with the first 3. Us, Bournemouth, and Newcastle. Exactly. Credit where due to Liverpool.
If from now they're still going to be moving like this, then I'll start asking more questions. Right, game 5, 6, 7, it will be a concern. So for me, I can't lie. I think everybody would rather be in their shoes where you literally get 4 wins out of 4, and then worry about what needs to be improved later. Worry about how you're going to fit things together, if Salah's going to be back, if Verts is going to start improving. So, like, it's really difficult with them. All I can go off is what we're doing, which is, I think, pretty decent so far.
Well, you pre-us. What needs to be improved at our football club?
Ooh, okay. So
within the first 4 or 5 games you've seen, obviously.
I'd say we need to get back to just getting it forward quicker, man. I feel like, especially like when we run the Rice, Zubimendi, Marino thing. Obviously, you know my thoughts on Mikel Marino. Like, big up him for, he's an incredible finisher. But other than that, I don't want to see that guy in midfield, bro. And when he plays, suddenly I see Eze starving for the ball. To be fair, Madueke's seen a lot of the ball, so that's fair. But again,
still right hand centric.
Yeah, and we're not seeing them like Gyökeres channel runs as much, right? We see it maybe like once, maybe twice a game. So it's them ones there where when you're so like, I don't know, the build up just seems so slow compared to what maybe we're used to seeing like in a couple years ago and whatnot. So that's probably the main thing that I would say. Get the ball quicker, because obviously when you got guys like Eze and even Madueke on current form, they can unlock defenses, right? Madueke is someone that, yeah, the end product isn't landing just yet, but he's folding his man like ironing board like 10 times a game, bro. And yeah, like, for example, Liverpool yesterday, right? When they were bombing forward, I'm seeing like 5 men charge into the box. Our thing is like, Madueke gets it, but that was a corner, to be fair, though, innit? So I won't count that as like bombing forward. But like when Madueke gets the ball, for example, he's looking up and it's like, all right, I'm going to run myself and then hope that from somewhere Gyökeres will run. So I think,
didn't you deep the Martinelli goal? Like, obviously it's on the transition, yeah, but that's actually something I liked with Madueke. Obviously Martinelli put the ball in the back of the net, but Madueke is just bursting forward, like, in case anything happened. So I agree with that. We could have got multiple men forward, and I agree with you. Obviously, you know, right now I'd say anything from game week 0 to 10. It's just about the result. That's not to just say, oh, if we win, it's all great. If we lose, we waffle.
First five games. 10 is too far, bro. If I'm still
I genuinely think that's how I look at it. First 5, 10, just get the results. But for me, it's not a thing where you just get the result, 3 points, we're happy as Larry. You've got to dissect the performance, because for me, the reason I asked you that question is because for me personally, I'm not angry. And you know, Arsenal fans, if we win a game, we're amazing. We lose a game, everything's crap. I still think the old issues are still there. Unpopular opinion for me, I'm not against Arteta or Arsenal moving the ball slowly, patient, side to side. The set piece is being great defensively. It's just about adding other things to us. Like you kind of said with Liverpool, there's times where we're going to have to bomb man forward. You might have to have an overlapping left back. I'm not expecting it to change overnight, but I haven't really seen building blocks. And like, even though we scored 5 against Leeds, I still think there was creativity issues. Kind of what we both said at the beginning, where we're still not really creating clear-cut chances for Gyökeres. That's actually, I know Zubimendi scored a banger in it, and we'll get onto him, but you see when Eze's just played that ball and Gyökeres has tapped it in. That's something I want to see more at our football club, if I'm honest. And Gooner, I done Amenya a disservice because he answered, I didn't answer. For me, I think the most realistic of the major trophies for us would probably be the Premier League, because we sniffed at it. I might sound like a hypocrite because, as Amenya said, we went quarters, semis. It all depends. I just think you need a bit of luck, and you need to make your own luck in the champs. And I think champs is hard to predict. I genuinely think we're winning the FA Cup. I think we need to win a trophy this season. There's no way around it. Do you think Liverpool's luck is going to run out? Because people were saying this the last season against Liverpool, and I only ask you because it's all fun and games. Like, if we could assume negatively, right, Amenya, that for us anyways, that their performance is ups and they play better because their players, their manager, and the fans probably know they need to do better. But if we just assume that they keep sneaking these results, and sometimes you're not going to get all 3 points, like, do you think we'll be there to take advantage? Like, because last season we weren't there to take advantage. Like, that's a lesson. Like,
yeah.
Where are you at with that?
Like, so 2 seasons ago, I was in the camp of screaming, it's unsustainable, it's not going to last. By February, March, April, Liverpool will fall off. And we were correct in that one. They fell off massively, and they had the whole, capitulation, if you will, right? And then it was obviously us and City. Last season, I wasn't saying the unsustainable thing, mostly because, I'll be honest, people don't want to hear it, but the amount of injuries we had, that I couldn't really see us catching Liverpool rather whatsoever. So although there were a lot of jammy results in that run as well, it was like, all right, you know what, fair play. Like, the gap is too big at this point. There's no point anyone saying like unsustainable, because you can get a loss here and there, a draw here and there. The gap was still far too big because of our own self, though, innit? Whereas this season, like I said, I'm not expecting us to lose many games and hopefully not draw as many as last season. That was the main thing, the draws, innit?
14 draws, madness.
A couple of those into wins, like, we should be there or thereabouts to pounce if, let's say, the luck runs out, or maybe there's like obviously we don't wish injuries on anybody, but if there was to be an injury here or there, this time you have to be in the position to take advantage and make them feel a bit of pressure. Because again, last season, for a lot of them, it was like, like they knew kind of they were going to win the league regardless. They could kind of take their
On
foot off the
average, they were
gas.
always 7 points ahead of us, I believe. So
Yeah, so it wasn't gonna happen.
And to answer your question, Goonie, genuinely, I'm not. This isn't me saying Arsenal's this, that, the other. We're the biggest and baddest. I think the sky's our limit, man. I think we finally got the depth that we've been crying for years. Of obviously we got great players, great defensive unit. We'll get onto some individuals in a second. You know, Liverpool obviously have the know-how and they've done it before and they're getting results and things. But you know, if I look at it another lens, them man are used to eating caviar. We haven't won a league. We're starving. Like we've had Indomie noodles with no seasoning at all. So we really should be having that desire to get over the line. And I think it's down to us. I think it's down to us and our manager. You know, it's down to Mikel Arteta. Like rightly so, his subs worked against Bilbao. I kind of wanted to say that against Liverpool. We've got more options than we can count. Honestly, I think if we just start playing a bit more attacking football, the sky is genuinely our limit because we can defend in many ways. We can do mid, low, and deep blocks, whatever blocks you want. We can time waste. We can kill the tempo of the game. We're very structured off the ball. The one thing I need Arsenal to add to their game now is kind of what you see with Liverpool, where, pardon my language, to a degree, and it can go left. They just say, fuck it. Like, you know, sometimes attack is the best form of defense. If somebody's fighting you, yeah, you can bob and weave and duck and maybe in some people's cases run. But if you throw some punches back, that is a form of defense. So I think that's the only kind of thing we're kind of lacking. But that's off the back of last season. That's going into this year. I know people look at preseason and think it's a magical place, 2 weeks and everything is done. It does take a bit of time. Amenya said it there, and I know Arsenal fans are tired of hearing it, but there are injuries in it. So there is a degree of Mikel Arteta bobbing and weaving. Like, we'll get on to Eze, but we don't know if Eze's long-term position is off the left-hand side. It might just be something cute and clever we're just doing just to get through it. And when everybody's fit, if everyone's fit, such is life, yeah, we'll see something different. What do you make of the depth? Because I've been speaking about, what do you make of the depth? Like, we got serious depth. Like, Saka's been injured. People are cool. Saliba's been injured. People are screaming, you know what, Mascaria doing your thing. How do you think about the depth generally, man? Berta's played a blinder.
It's nice, I'll be honest. Like, obviously, we know last season, there's like a lot of players, I'd say, that if they're out, massive issues, right? Basically, our entire starting 11, you could say if you're missing, other than maybe like left back, was lacking a little bit last season. Now it's like every position you got something there where, like, you know what, cool. If you're not there, we can firm it for like a week or two in it and get back to your thing. The only players I'd say now are like, let's say, I don't want to say the word irreplaceable, right? Because again, the gap between Saka and Madueke is still really vast in my opinion, but like it's manageable. I feel like if Gabriel was to go down, that's probably the one that's like not really manageable in my opinion, right? I know we have players that can play there, Calafuri can do a job or whatever, but I just think Gabriel is so massive, like intangibles as well, you know what I mean? The qualities that he provides, aside from the heading in both boxes and the last minute blocks and whatever, the leadership, everything, I feel like Gabriel needs to be there at all times. Everyone else, like, obviously there's going to be a drop off in it, so like, don't take it as, oh, Saka's replaceable. He definitely isn't. But like, there is an alternative there that can get you through a game or two if he's out. So the depth, I mean, I cannot really complain in it. I still would have liked a left winger with burners, but I guess I cannot be too...
Or a out-and-out left winger, as much as Madueke and more so Eze can play there.
Yeah, that's the only thing that, I mean, I was looking for in the window personally, but we cannot have everything in life, innit?
We can't have everything in life, man. You know, obviously it's only been 5 games, yeah. Who would you give signing the season to so far? If we just assumed the season was 5 games,
Mosquera. I don't even think it's even close, to be honest with you.
Fair.
I would have gone Mosquera even in pre-season. I didn't even. Oh, obviously I knew who he was, but I wasn't tapped into Valencia last season. Do you know what I mean? Like they were a relegation fighting team last season. But when I went Emirates Cup, or not even Emirates Cup, what's the one? It was like a random friendly. We played Bilbao and Villarreal. And
yeah, I don't think that was Emirates Cup. One of them was Emirates Cup. One of them was Emirates Cup.
But the other one was a friendly. Either way, I said, hey, he was playing right back even. I said, who is this?
13 million quid.
Why is he so cold? Yeah, no, I can't lie. Valencia, man, send your bank details, bro. I'll send you a $5, man.
Nah, they don't owe nothing. They zanged us for Mustafi. So get back, forget that.
Yeah, you know what? Fair.
Nah, they don't earn a penny. And nah, you know what?
45 mil for Mustafi and Mosquera combined. It's looking like good business to me.
And Mosquera starts for a lot of teams in the league. I know people could say it's 5 games, and obviously he's going to have bad games. He's human. He's 21. But I do think, obviously, like you said, man, I'm not really watching Valencia week in, week out to be tapped in. But I do think Arsenal fans, naturally, because of that, underplayed him. And what I mean by that is this is someone that played 30, 40 times for Valencia, did well against Real and Atletico Madrid. He's coming here to prove a point, and he's doing well. To be honest with you, I don't know who player of the season is at the moment because, you know, Mosquera's taking his chance. He's doing quite well.
The signing of the season, that was the question.
Yeah, signing of the season. Apologies. Signing of the season. I give it Zubimendi. I give it Zubimendi just because obviously he scored a banger, he scored a header. I know there's been, you know, Bilbao, everyone was kind of poor in the first half. We got together in the second, but I genuinely think Zubimendi's not a man that's going to get the headlines. Like Mosquera's coming for Saliba, Madueke, there's a lot of noise around him anyways. Gyökeres, again, the same logic. Eze, I just think you don't, unless Zubimendi scores a screamer, you don't see him, but he gives us something we're missing. But you know what? You're converting me. It could be Mosquera.
I disagree. And let me convert you further. Old Trafford and Anfield. I didn't like it, man. I know you're a Zubimendi super fan. Like,
he died in the second half. I wanted him to come off. I think Arteta is the reason we conceded that free kick. I'm not blaming him for Szoboszlai doing the mad thing because I couldn't predict that. But the game was going against us.
To me,
it's Zubamendinho, you know, Super Mendy.
No. To me, look, I know, again, you're going to see it from the eye of someone that you were gassing Zubimendi for like 2 years. So I get it. You're going to defend it at all costs. But let's be honest, man. Old Trafford, and as someone that, again, you are a left back, so you have played football. So it's not even like as a left back. I'm just saying, like, as in, you will know what I'm about to say here, yeah. He was hiding at Old Trafford, but I didn't like it.
No,
when I see a player hiding, I don't like it.
Watch the game again. He didn't hide.
No, bro, he was hiding.
And remember, he was ill. Arteta said he had an illness. He almost didn't make the squad.
Well, he was well enough to play, bro. And I'm not saying that Zubimendi's meaty, but let's also be fair. We cannot just, because it's like a shiny toy, we got to gas up every single game.
What about for everyone else?
Old Trafford. No, I'm agreeing with you, but you're saying Zubimendi signing of the season. So I'm saying Mosquera, obviously, you know, less minutes and less games, but I don't think Mosquera has had a poor half of anything. Do you get it? Like, every single minute has been fantastic. Whereas Zubimendi, Old Trafford, I didn't like it personally. Like, when I'm seeing like Casemiro get the better of you sometimes, I said, I'm not really keen on this. Obviously,
don't you think that's Mikel Arteta's tactics? Because you look at it, we're a great defensive team. Anybody slots into midfield, into defense, with not taking nothing away from Mosquera. You're already set up on a good platform. Midfield is a bit of a mixed bag where you got Odegaard in and out the team and of sorts. You got Rice Rice typically gets going in the second half of the season. Arsenal fans describe our midfield as a mixed bag. And then you obviously jump into the front line, which you could even say against Bilbao. Not really creating that much for them, not really progressing play, still right-hand centric because Madueke is the one that had the most change. Surely there's a bit of tax that has to be given to Mosquera, and surely there's a bit of luxuries with Zubi.
I feel like we're gassing it because he's a new signing, bro. He's been good in the other games, isn't it? I know what I saw at Old Trafford, bro, and I'm going to put it down to the fact that
you might have to cut your hair. I don't know what you saw, man. It's in the way, bro.
At Old Trafford, one thing I would say is no matter how good or bad we play or how good or bad our form is, we go there and everyone just starts panicking. So I'm not going to put it down to him, but I'm just saying, if we're talking about signing of the season, I'm going to go with someone that hasn't put like a single foot wrong. Do you get me? That's all I'm going to say. That's why I've gone with Mosquera so far. So
fair. And this is what we wanted, man. You know what? We're both wrong because the sign of the season is Andrea Berta, if I'm completely honest. The only thing I could say around Andrea Berta is
last season, though. Now, last season, technically.
We signed in March. Allow him, man. This is his first thing. He's decided this season, man. I'll give it to Berta because you've changed our lives really and truly. Like, you and Arteta just keep patterning. I've got to ask you this, yeah, because this is something that I'm sure you've been asked. I'm sure someone might have commented it. Mosquera, does he make you more comfortable to sell Saliba, especially if Saliba don't sign a new contract?
I'll be honest. I don't like all these convos. You
know,
do you know why? Because like I opened obviously the Twitter. I used to love Twitter, bro. Now I open Twitter after a good game, and it's people that are so miserable that they want to be finding something to be angry about. So Mosquera plays good, and it's like, ooh, Saliba, you're gonna have to fight for your place. Like, bro, obviously I understand competition's competition, yeah. Saliba's been Saliba, innit? Like, there's no scenario where now, because Mosquera's been good for like 3 games, I should be entertaining Saliba cutting. Obviously, I understand the question, and yes, Mosquera, so far, if he plays like this every week, then sure, that's a really good, alternative if Saliba is to go. But I'm not on that wavelength and the bandwagon of like, all right, boom, he's better than Saliba. We never look this comfortable with Saliba there. Let's short him for this amount of millions.
Crazy.
Because then what happens? We're going to sell Saliba. Mosquera is a starter. Mosquera gets injured, and then what happens? Then we're going to Porto saying, yo, Kiwiyo, Come back, broski. Like, and he's gonna be playing right centre back. I don't want to hear all that, man. I don't want to hear all that.
You're right. I do think there's an element of some Arsenal fans. You need to accept depth because kind of what you're alluding to, I find it frustrating. Obviously, there's validity with what people are saying, but I just feel anyone that's in and out the squad, there's those conversations selling. I like the fact in principle, obviously, if Madueke and Saka's case and Mascara and Saliba's case, if those two individuals who are injured don't necessarily walk back into the team, I'm here for this. More like you're alluding to, a lot more competition. It helps us all. And don't get twisted, if you're Madueke and Mascara, I don't think you're better than the others. But at the end of the day, you've got a shirt, you ain't put a foot wrong. Hold on to that. Give Mikel Arteta difficult questions. As I always say, Mikel Arteta probably wakes up at like 5 a.m, gets to training at like 8, probably spends the whole day there. You know, such as being a manager, you got to do bare things. When he's showered and had dinner and the kids have gone to sleep and his wife wants to make other kids, when she's doing that, let him say, no, sorry, babes, I've got to think about how I get Saka in. No, I've got to get Saka. So do I play Odegaard? And I need to get Eze in, etc., etc. These is the issues we need. You know, Mikel Arteta has cried in the 2-3 years prior to the season that we're currently in about depth. Now we've got depth. It is what it is. To be honest with you, unless you're probably Saliba, you could say Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Magalhaes, Raya by default. You're probably interchangeable, really. And I do think Arsenal fans, probably 5 games into the season, are doing too much. And I don't understand it because, like you said earlier, with injuries, we've seen how things can play out, even to the point, this is completely a hot take, Amenya, but I'm kind of nervous about right back. And I say this because I hope Benjamin White's back. Obviously, I just imagine Saliba's back. But if I assume Saliba returns, takes a bit of time to get back and White's not back, if something happens to Timber, God forbid, the man we've run into the ground, who the hell plays right back? Do you put Calafiori over there? You could put Mascara over there, but then you've got 2 left-sided centre-halves, which some people don't want. So bottom line is, we need depth. We need depth and we need depth. I kind of, because we're on the topic of certain things, we'll get on to Eze. I'm trying to save him. Well, we'll get on to Eze now. What did you think of this front 3 against Forest? And actually against Bilbao, to be fair. Say that again?
I liked it. Obviously, at Forest game, I was moved. I'll be honest. Like, I repeat that Arsenal fans like start doing like petitions and hashtag say no, blah, blah, blah. That's very cringe. I'll be honest with you. But I can also say I wasn't keen on the signing whatsoever. Like I was not trying to bring Madueke, especially when there was no talk of Eze or nothing at that point, right? We were still thinking of times we were dreaming of like Rodrigo and them, man, at that point. And then we get Madueke. So it wasn't ideal. But that game there, the amount of times, like I said, that he went past his fullback, and credit to him, like the first 20 minutes, he kept on playing these like chipped balls to try and, I guess, wait for someone to head it. And I think he realized this ain't the team for that, bro. Just go smash it across the ground or something. So at that point, he changed it. And what I liked as well, it wasn't just go down the byline and smash it. Sometimes he'd cut in and whip it. Sometimes he'd go out wide. So I think that was obviously Madueke's best game in an Arsenal shirt. Obviously, we saw Chelsea fans that they were, again, complaining, saying, oh, shut up. He plays like this every week. If Madueke plays like that every single week, there's no way they're hounding him out the way they did. Like that's, I don't know why they're pretending that that's like an average Madueke game. Eze,
I mean, Chelsea fans said we're boring. It was very entertaining for me watching you lot against Bayern Munich.
Likewise, they got the best player in every position and they got packed in by Bayern. But it's cool, man.
Certain man celebrating offside.
Crazy. No, doing that, and when you're losing, by the way, clarify.
And let's not even talk about the shin kicker of a centre mid that they compare to Rice.
Nah, Caicedo's cold though. Let's look at Caicedo.
He is cold, but
everyone can get it.
It's war. It's war.
Doing that when losing, to me, is a bit more shameless. I can't lie. I can't see the scoreboard say 2-0 because they're just about to put the 1 and you're doing that. That's crazy. But anyway, Eze, the first shoulder drop, I can't lie, and changed my life.
Even when his boot got, you see when he done that skill and his boot got taken.
Yeah. I was there in the crowd. I got sent myself. I said, hey. So I say, yeah, Fairs, he's back. Gyökeres. Again, Gyökeres is Gyökeres, bro. There was that nice time where he hit the post, or like, the post bar kind of angle with a little 1-2 with Madueke. But other than that, like I said, he's getting there. One thing I can say, he's improving little by little. It's still not what I'm expecting from the 14, but
what are you
incrementally.
Expecting?
Well, the thing is, it's tough because what I'm expecting is something that Gyökeres cannot do. I can't just magic him overnight into a striker that I want him. Do you know what I mean? There's something that he just cannot do. But like, I'd argue, I don't know, again, might be a bit of a dodgy one, but I'd argue Bilbao was his best game even, despite him not even scoring. Like, into the hold-up play, I think was far better than any previous games. Every other game, bro, the ball bounces off his shin pads, bro. The ball has bounced. Even the Leeds game, let's be 100% honest, man. That goal was overrated, bro.
Oh,
bro,
get
it wasn't.
out of here.
It wasn't
Get
that good,
out
bro.
of here.
Bro,
Yeah,
watch the goal. It
might have
wasn't
to
that
get
good.
kicked out.
No, it
He's gone.
acting like that was a cold goal, bro. Like I get it.
Roger.
Trust me, I was doing that. Bro. He was off balance, bro. You know when you're playing like Mario Kart and you're on the
you're
ice?
one of them. You love Sesko. You're one of them.
No, I don't like him either. That
you're
man
one
is
of them.
I can never
Binky.
have a Sesko guy that's there going 10th in the penalty shootout. I can never have that, bro. I can never have that.
It was so beautiful. It was ugly, my boy. We never
All right.
created for. We still are not really creating for this guy. He said, "Fuck it, I'm doing this." Like you said, I'm not expecting Gyökeres to be beautiful. I don't even think we're creating for him. I think he's adapted to the system. We need to adapt a bit more to him. That's why I said earlier.
I just want someone that the link up is a lot better, right? That's why I say Bilbao for me was much better than his previous games, where I understand like you scored the goal.
Wait, hang on. How can you say Bilbao? You mentioned the Gyökeres where he hit the post. Do you not remember when he's linked up with Eze off the left, fed it to the right?
I get it, but there was more than that thing. He played much longer in that game. Do you know what I mean? He was there.
We've seen it still, but go on. We need to hear why you believe this.
I will explain to you. At the Emirates, right? The game, I saw it with my very own 2 eyes. The amount of times that in the box, again, the little 1-2s. That's what was shocking. When it was the ones where he's spreading it out wide, I said, yeah, you know what, Fez, that's cold. There was one where it was like a inside of his foot out wide to Eze, I think it was, and then he ran and whatever. That was cold, and I have no qualms with that whatsoever. And again, he was making good runs. That's why I say he's getting marginally better. But when the ball got into him around the box, and we're seeing guys try to play 1-2s off him, like, let's also be honest, it was kind of bouncing off his shin pads a little bit, just a little bit. Whereas I felt like he was much more refined, not yesterday, the day before. I don't even know what day we're at anymore. 2 days ago.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, and the day before yesterday.
Yeah, and the runs were a lot sharper, in my opinion, where he looked
a whack to the head. He looked
a lot more fitter against Bilbao, in my opinion. Like, and again, he was muscling guys. Obviously, again, he did it against Forest as well. But I'm just saying, I preferred the Bilbao game a little bit more, and again, a bit more of a hostile atmosphere at the Emirates. I'm not gonna lie to you. I expected to score basically every home game. I don't think that's like a crazy
starting Sunday, man.
Expectations. You know what I mean? I kind of expect him to score every home game. So it's not something where I care about like the aesthetics, bro. If you're gonna tell me you get 30 goals, I don't care, bro. Get me 30 goals. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. But I also have to say what I see, which was the link-up play, the 1-2s. Like when I see Eze pick up the ball like on the wing, drive inside, give you a little pass, and then the pass bounces back to, I don't know, behind Marino's head or something, I'm not going to enjoy that. Do you know what I mean? I want my team to be able to play the little intricate passes around the box to open up defenses. It just so happens that, obviously, Big Ange, mate, he was giving us space to do whatever we wanted, so it didn't matter in the end. But if you watch the game, you will know what I'm talking about. I'm not expecting him to be like Thierry Henry. He's never going to be that.
I think you're more critical on Gyökeres than you've ever been on Eze, so it's South London bias and Madueke, but, you know, that's just my thoughts, you know what I mean?
Listen, man, I believe in black excellence. Is that a problem?
No, don't start that crap.
If that's a problem to you, then by all means, just let us know.
One thing I'm not is one of them.
Let us know, innit? Like,
Black History Month next month. I'm one of them. I want to ask you as well, yeah, like, what do you make? What do you make of our midfield? It's kind of. I got some more questions on this, but what do you make of our midfield? Obviously, you've touched on Zubimendi. Kind of disregard Odegaard or whatever there, yeah. But Zubimendi and Rice, because some people are like, I'm not really convinced by it.
No, you know what it is? I like it when Marino is not in that 3. Do you get it? I like it. Like it makes sense, but Marino ruins it. I don't think you can have a midfield of Rice and Marino at the same time. In my opinion, I don't think that makes any sense personally. So, you know what's weird about Odegaard as well? Aside from like when he's getting the shoulder injuries and whatnot, he's actually been a lot sharper this season. Last season, I was fighting for my life trying to defend this guy. When
you're not alone.
There wasn't a lot of things to defend with, bro. I was there like in court saying, bro, trust me, like he didn't do it, bro. He did it. Bro.
Let's be honest, Amenya. All we could do with Odegaard last year was he presses well. We had nothing else.
Bro, I was there saying like, you know, he just had a new kid, so maybe he's not getting
shameless
sleep. Like I'm making excuses, but this season he has looked a lot sharper. It's just unfortunate that he keeps on going off after like 10 minutes.
Stop.
So we don't get to see it. But I would have liked personally to see, especially whilst Odegaard isn't fit, to see Eze in that midfield. And then I think you can see the best of the Rice and Marino. Or to a lesser extent, Ethan Nwaneri played that similar role. But again, I understand maybe it's a little bit early in terms of just chucking him that role. But I'd love to see Eze in the middle. And then, especially given, you know, what happened in Bilbao, give Martinelli maybe the chance to see what he can do again out wide as a starter, perhaps. You know what I mean? Like, listen, we have.
Oh, you're back. They always return.
Whoa. I was never away. That's one thing you can never say about me. I was never away, bro. I was there fighting for my life for that guy. That's my son, bro. I
allow you because we need Martinelli.
I had never left. So,
Do you think that's Martinelli's role, though? Like, suit him and Trossard off the bench, the game's open, cash money.
Maybe. Again, it's a tough one to answer because on the left wing, I'd argue there's things that Martinelli can do, right? Which, for example, we saw against Bilbao, even for the assist, right? Well, I don't think Eze can. Not because Eze's worse. Eze's a far better footballer than Martinelli. But Eze's not a touchline winger. Do you get me? So in games where we need to get in behind and get down to the byline, Eze can do it. Because we saw it against Liverpool, to be fair. And against Forest as well. Eze was getting to the byline, but he's not someone that's going to relentlessly
You're not going to get the best out of Eze if you want that from him.
Behind, you know? So I do think in certain games, the reason I say Martinelli out wide is not to shift Eze away. Eze's best position is, for me, in our system anyway. Obviously, he was playing on the left, but in Glasner's system, it's not like a 4-3-3.
Let's be honest. We want him in the Odegaard role.
So chuck Eze in the middle and then let Martinelli be out wide. And then let's see what can come from it. Obviously, we cannot be doing too many experiments right now because the fixtures are looking a bit peak, but I would like to see Eze in the middle sooner rather than later.
What do you make of Eze out wide, or like the perception? Because I agree with you in that, you know, you want your players centrally and stuff. But when you actually deep it, I know people look at that clip on social media where Arteta is telling him to hold the whip. That's a 30-second snippet. That could have been the right thing he was telling him to. But naturally, Eze's inclinations is to go searching for the ball. When I look at him out wide, I'm like you. I want him centrally. I think generally, regardless of where he's on the pitch, we need to feed him a bit more. And I think whether it's Eze, Gyökeres, Saka when he's here, I think the broader conversation is about like getting the best out of our attackers. But he is kind of narrow. I have seen kind of tweaks. Like, do you think fans are maybe doing
overreacting, bro? This is like I keep on saying it, but if we've got to be unbiased, bro, the one thing that I say about Arsenal fans, bro, it's too reactionary, man. It's
emotional, man.
I'm telling you, one loss. I keep saying the same quote. Yeah, one loss, and people start doing, Chicken Little. The sky is falling, the earth is ending. That's it. Sack everyone. Everyone must get sold. And then we win one game, bro. We beat Man City on Sunday. People are going to be saying, quadruple, X Factor, Britain's Got Talent. We're going to win every single trophy there is to win. So many times you have to just block out especially Twitter, bro. That app is just chaos these days. Now, people are doing whatever they can to farm likes, whether that be getting rival fans to back it so they bash their own players or bash their own managers. People have realized that complaining is unfortunately the way to get the most clicks. I'm not really a fan of that personally. So to answer like the actual question, I guess is what you're saying, I don't think we should look much into Arteta shouting that or whatever, because evidently he knows what he was expecting of him. And to be fair, there was so much space on that side because Bilbao were very compact at that point. So understandably, give Eze the ball out wide and give him the chance to drive inwards with the ball rather than wait in the middle for a ball that probably is never going to come because they've got 3 or 4 men around him anyway. So I think it's a bit early. Let's see how it goes. Like I said, I'm not saying he should be a left winger long term, in my opinion, but he definitely can do a better job than what we've had there previously. So
big up Trossard and Martinelli. You lot have a role to play. Get fit, Gabriel Jesus. Eze, to be honest, I'm at the point where I whether I agree with it or Arteta or not, you want to play Marino in midfield. You've Odegaard's ahead in the pecking order. Just get Eze on the pitch. Just make sure when he's on that pitch, we find him. That's all I kind of care about. I have to ask you as well. Yeah, this question has been up here for a while. Sorry about that, Nathan. DG and Amenya. And you know what? We'll start with Madueke for this question, but we'll do it over all 3 players. DG and Amenya for GA. For Madueke, what would you both say would be a good season for him? Let the guests go.
Should we do Premier League only?
For Madueke, surely got to do an all comps thing.
Okay, first.
You can do both. You know what? All comps.
I'll try to do all comps. For me, as Saka's deputy, it's going to be a tough one because you're not going to play that much, right? And
he might even play off the left. You never know.
He might. Like his one is probably the most unpredictable because he might play on the left. He might play 20 minutes a game because maybe they say, okay, Saka, we're not going to play you, 85 minutes anymore. We'll give you like a 65, 70, win the game and come off. So I guess what I'd be satisfied with, I suppose. If I get like 8 and 8, maybe like a 16, is that reasonable to expect from like a backup option there? I think he can get 8 goals, 8 assists. It's like you are basically the backup to the, again, one of the most important players in the team. So I can't expect you to put up crazy numbers. And obviously, again, I know he didn't get anything against Forest, but if he does play like that every single week, I can forgive the lack of numbers to a point. I'm not saying you can end the season with 0-0 and we're going to be like, yeah, Madueke cold, but I think 8 and 8. I don't know about what the chat think. That's probably what I'm going to do with him. And then, so I guess in the league, we'll make it like, yeah, like 5 and 5 or something. 6. I see, but now it sounds even worse. When I say 5 and 5 in the league, it's like, that's not a lot at all, bro. Do you know what I mean?
But those 5 goals could come in close-knit games where, you know, we're about to lose and we snatch a point. You said it there. For me, it's a difficult one because, one, the years, it's unpredictable. We've had injuries last season. We've got injuries now. I don't know how many games Madueke is going to start, or if it's like what Amenya alluded to, in which it's a bit disingenuous to say ideal world, but ideal world, everybody's fit. Saka's getting rested here and there, taking off here and there, occasional start for Madueke here and there. I would say for me, it's all adjusted, but I need 10 and 10 in all comps. Like that, I just think that's the blanket thing that you, Martinelli, Trossard, you man should be looking at that. So that would be a good one. And that's the only thing I think Madueke is lacking. I do think people are disingenuous because obviously we've seen times guys at our club or in general, man will score goals or get an assist, but they've done nothing for 90 minutes. Or you get Madueke where it's a bit even like Eddie and Ketio. Some of Eddie's best games came when he didn't score. I know people don't want to hear about him. But with Madueke, people are going to be disingenuous. If you watch the Forest game, I get it. Keep your feet on the ground. Don't get excited. All those things. But he was a threat throughout. The one thing Madueke is lacking, because he is positive. He can go down the left. He can go down the right. Respectfully to Martinelli, and we're both fans of his, one thing I like about Madueke is your decision-making is very good. Like, you can just tell you're thinking. You get into the box a lot. I think you were in the up box against Forest for Arsenal the most of any player. And you scored quite high for that Chelsea. The one kind of thing you're lacking is obviously goals and assists. Even the Bilbao game, I think he had a good game. If I had to criticize him for one thing, he hit the post with his left peg where I was thinking, use your right, you know, just put that across goal. But it is what it is. For Eze then.
I think his delivery, just before we go to Eze, I think delivery against Bilbao was not as good as it was against Forest.
Yeah.
I think against Forest, it was like these are like some good deliveries, but you're unlucky. Against Bilbao, a lot of the time.
Even against Leeds as well, to be fair.
Yeah. Basically, so far, Madueke, like, especially at the Emirates, deliveries have been fantastic. And again, you could argue a little bit at Anfield, although obviously a lot tougher to make chances there. But against Bilbao, I did feel as though anytime he did have a chance, I felt like he kind of wasted it, if that makes sense. Like, there were a few like outside the boot, left foot ones that the keeper just would keep on catching. I'm thinking, bro, you do have.
Yeah, he had them. Gyökeres had
players
them.
to aim
more from Eze.
But as for so Eze's numbers,
it's techie because you don't know where he's going to play, how he's going to play. On one part, I think he has to be the star, but he might be a rotationary option, even though I don't necessarily believe that.
His is one where I would expect 20, like, altogether combined. I know you say like, you expect 10 and 10 from these guys, but if I'm to assume that he's going to be playing midfield quite a bit as well, I still think 10 and 10 would be a calm one. I can push it to like a 22 if we're going far in the Champions League, and that maybe a cheeky free kick here and there if he's going to be taking it from Rice. I don't know. We'll have to. Maybe the close range free kicks, we'll give it to Eze.
Gyökeres can take them as well, man.
Yeah, he will just come and start smashing free kicks, man. So I think 20 would be like a really good return, in my opinion, for Eze. Again, like, if you told me Eze gets 10 goals and 10 assists this season, I think I'd be satisfied with that, because I know as well it's going to come with him being really impactful outside the numbers too, right? He's not a guy that's going to get you 10 goals, 10 assists, and like they're going to be stat pad goals. He will actually contribute very well in those games too. So I'd say that for him.
I'm with you. I sanctioned that for Eze. I think you're good enough. I think you got double figures last season. I don't know what you specifically got in the league, but I kind of want that again at Arsenal. I do think there's a bit of tax to all of my attackers, keeping up the theme with. I do think Arteta is a good coach. You've shown me attacking elements. I think you can. I don't know if it's taking the handbrake up. I don't know if it's trying to be not like Liverpool, but a bit like Liverpool in the sense that you're leaving defenders a bit exposed to get a bit more. But that's what I want from Eze. So I think you're right. Yeah. Then that leaves my man. What's a good return from him?
In the Premier League alone, I demand minimum 22. I don't want to see you below 22.
What's with the number 22 with you?
No, because
You love that number, innit?
No, because 20, to me, bro, guys like, big respect here. Chris Wood and them man are bagging 20, bro. So I'm not bringing you for 60, 65 M's to put up Chris Wood numbers. I'm just not, bro. Like, you're playing for a team that's trying to win the league. So in my opinion, you have to bag minimum 22. Like, I'm looking at like a 24, 25. Now, do I expect that to happen? Probably not, to be honest with you. But my issue is, if you're gonna, again, we've all agreed, right? He's not someone that's gonna offer you that much outside of goals, right? So if that is the case, then you better bring crazy numbers, right? There's no point being like, let's say, a little bit clunky or whatever, and then you don't bring me the stat padded numbers to go with it. You have to give me crazy numbers. So I'd say 22 in the league, which means all comps.
You're looking at 30 odd.
I'm going 30, bro. Give me like, 5, 6 in the Champions League, a couple in the FA Cup. You might not even play Carabao, to be fair. So
no, I beg Mikel Arteta for 10 minutes against Port Vale. Scumbag some goals. It all counts towards the tally.
Might have to. We've seen guys like Sesko at Grimsby. They're doing overhead kicks and they're missing the ball. So
taking penalties 10th, man. I don't know who those guys are.
That's one of the worst things I've ever seen, by the way. Like, we all know, anyone that has played football at any level, even in primary school level, your striker's not going 10th in the shootout, bro. No, I don't care if you say, the manager said it, or I decided it. There's no scenario. Impossible. So, 22 goals. I'm not going to do assists for him like this. Like, I don't really care about that.
Yeah,
he's not on
real. How you can.
Yeah, just scam a little flick on header or something. 22 goals, 30 all comps.
You know what? It's a techie one for me, man, because I think if what I've seen in these 5 games in terms of how we play and we're not really creating that many clear-cut chances, I think you get me 15. Get me 15, Gyökeres. I know what you're saying. Let me finish. Allow me. Get me 15. If it doesn't improve, because really and truly, like, I know you buoyed his Leeds goal, but he had to work for that. Obviously, Eze set it on a plate for him. We're not exposed to that too many times. Right now, I'm just seeing you work very hard and link up and all of that, but you're feeding off scraps. So if that was to continue, get me 15. All the others need to chip in. Obviously, if Mikel Arteta, which I hope we evolve, we start playing to his strengths, now I need 20 plus. I need 20 as a minimum. I need 20 plus. That kind of makes me fall into your camp of where you are with 30. Even with Gyökeres, let me ask you, is he really the first choice striker? Because on one hand, he's a natural striker. He bought for big money, all of those things. And I know we spoke on, and we've been focusing on Marino up front, but Marino potentially could be a forward or maybe even plays against City. Kai Havertz being fit, maybe that's one. Is Gyökeres the first choice striker for you? Well, not even for you. Do you think he's the first choice striker?
No, I believe he is the first choice striker in terms of if everyone's available. I do believe he will start because, again, that is something that they've spoken about for time now, where they're looking for the 9, right? I don't even think, I think Havertz gets a bit of a bad rep at times. I don't think he's like incredible, but I think he did a respectable job, especially in a couple title run-ins.
He's got a part to play this season.
But he's not the 9. Do you know what I mean? The same way, me, I love Gabriel Jesus. That's my dog, innit? Like, big up him, speedy recovery.
I need to see him left wing just for one game, him, Eze, Saka.
I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it at all, bro. I still believe he has something to offer as well. Don't let him go Flamengo or something in January. Just let him have a last little hurrah, see what he can offer.
Trossard, Nelly, just give us 1 year, man.
Yeah, Gyökeres is the 9, so I expect he will be starting most games, whether people like it or not. Now, to mention your 15 thing, by the way, I went to the old mate Google to check last season. So you're basically saying 15 goals. That's the likes of, for example, Strand Larsen. Obviously, Cole Palmer got 15 in it without scoring for half a season, by the way. Ollie Watkins got more than that.
How did this guy Google that so quickly?
No, but do you see what I'm saying? 15, we cannot be accepting 15 goals, bro, for Victor Gyökeres. Come on.
Of course, I don't want 15, but bro, if it continues,
so what do you demand for? No, because 15 is like Havertz numbers if he would play every game. He had that injury.
100%. 100%. But do you? We're one of the best creative sides. I mean, one of the best defensive sides, right? We're not up there for. I know we score a bunch of goals, but everybody knows we're not one of the best creative sides. I know we do a lot from set pieces, and I like that, which is why I said keep that, but add that open play chances, big chances created. We're kind of lacking. So that tells me that is something that isn't necessarily with Gyökeres or Eze or Madueke or Saka. It's above my pay grade and above yours because we're not the manager. But there's something Arteta's got to change. So if the handbrake goes down and I look different,
in general, I agree with you. Because
I would say in the last 5 games, how is Gyökeres getting 20 if with these scraps? If he is a limited striker as well.
The one thing I'll give you is that in fairness to him
Haaland's
as
not
well,
getting them numbers
he hasn't
that you want at this
missed
club if it
that
continues.
many chances, right? There was the one where like he kind of swiveled and hit it wide when the ball kind of was somewhat
What game?
fighting. So Leeds before he scored the 2. There was one where there was like a ball that arrived on like the penalty
Finish.
spot,
I'm
and he was
gonna
like
hit
on
you
the
with something.
turn or
Go
whatever.
on, finish.
No,
You're
I'm
playing
backing
into
your
my trap.
point. I'm backing
No,
your
you're playing
point.
into the press. You're
No,
playing
I'm
into the
agreeing
press.
with you. I'm
No,
agreeing
press,
with
press.
you on this.
Press,
This
press,
is not a
press.
press. I'm
Press,
agreeing
press,
with
go,
your
go,
point,
go,
bro.
go.
My point was, anyway, he's not missed many chances in his defense. So it's not as though like he's getting bad chances and he's missing them and they're putting on the plate and he's firing it wide. So that's what I'm agreeing with you on. This my man's doing the fingers. I'm on your side, G.
No, I'm just saying,
I'm on your team, yeah. I got the same shirt as him, and he's there doing the Benzema Vinny thing, bro. The Benzema Vinny thing. So, but however, I do expect that over time, again, once you understand his strengths, once obviously Calafiori's gonna understand, all right, boom, he's making these runs time and time again. I expect naturally that's gonna change, and he's someone that I also expect to make a goal out of nothing, right? You're gonna feed off of those scraps and somehow find a way where sometimes maybe Havertz, right? We know a lot of times when he pick up the ball like on the edge of the box, we might get that sort of tame shot right at the keeper. I can't even like I'm not going to give you an example because I'm sure if you close your eyes, you can all think of examples
PTSD.
where Havertz turns, he shoots, and it goes across the ground.
Liverpool FA Cup.
Picks it. There's loads of them, bro. There's loads of them. So I don't think Gyökeres will be like that. And again, my assumption is at some point Eze will move centrally, and therefore I am expecting Gyökeres to get a lot more service when Saka's fully fit. We know Saka. One thing with Madueke, we can say, yeah, he's maybe a bit more like athletic, perhaps, and pure speed wise. Saka's thing is decision making every single time, or let me not exaggerate. Let's say 95% of the time, Saka will make the right choice, and so Gyökeres will get the ball on the plate quite a lot, whether it be with the left foot, little dinks cross, or the right foot cut back. Gyökeres will get chances when our front three is there. Bear in mind, you're bringing a midfield that has, again, I repeat, Mikel Merino as the most advanced guy. Yeah, of course you're not going to get chances, bro.
So then this is my point. How is a man scoring 20? Obviously, it's not going to stay like that.
Yeah, because that's my point, though. Mikel Merino is not going to be playing the whole season, is he?
I get that. But when Odegaard's there, we've said the same thing. Shout out Wanyeri said the same thing. My broader thing is not necessarily.
I disagree, though. I disagree because at that point, again, it's like your first 1 or 2 games. So last
season, I hear that. But last season, the season before, were any of our players up there for big chances missed?
No, but that's what I'm saying. But we didn't have.
We're still remembering the half chances Gyökeres had. We shouldn't remember all of the time.
My point is, but we have a 9 now. So the same way that we see, let's say, you were clowning my Moldova a couple of weeks ago. But that very same way. No, don't do that because one of the first Ghana games I ever went to, we packed him and 4-0.
Yeah, and you try that now. Are you man going World Cup? Are you man going World Cup?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Make sure you're reaching.
We're going to the World Cup, bro. We're going to be there.
World Cup for Moldova. World Cup for Moldova.
Don't worry about that one.
We will mash you lot up if you try to play us again. We
produce great wine. We produce great wine. So.
No, but that's my point, though. Like, if I don't see my players up there for big chances, if I don't see it, like, how can I expect him to eat if you're not? But
we're not up there because we don't have 9s that are used to being the like. If that's why I mentioned.
How are we going to do it if we're just relying on individual brilliance?
I mentioned Moldova because
you mentioned the Leeds goal. He made that himself. You're not seeing that 38 times. I want what Eze did for him, bro. The tappings. You give him a million tappings, you get as many goals as you want.
Odegaard found Haaland so many times, and I know it's Haaland, so he can get the ball anywhere. But there were many occasions where Odegaard would play a slide rule ball that we know last season Havertz is not getting to that, bro. And again, he's, I guess, a bit more athletic than we give Havertz credit for. But at the same time, he's not a 9. He's not someone that.
So you have the belief we just slap when our best players come back and the guys cook, then.
Then I'm expecting Gyökeres to score goals, bro. Like I understand what you're saying about last season, but we're not.
So everybody's fit. So nothing changes tactically in the final third, yeah. All the best players or players you want slapped on the pitch. Marino's not there, give or take Eze or Odegaard. We're doing that.
So what was the point then of bringing this guy if you're expecting him to get 15 goals? What was the point then?
I didn't say I expect him to get 15 league goals. I'd be an idiot. Do you want me to be a liar? I
asked you what you demanded. You said 15 and you're going to be happy. That's what
No, hang about. I said, no. I said if it persists like this, I expect 15 league goals.
But
if we put the handbrake down and Arteta changes things, I'm expecting 20. How many times? I've said to you, you've been on this platform. People in the chat. How many times have I said it don't matter if you get Isaac, if you get Sesko, if you get Watkins, if you get Gyökeres, None of them are going to score the goals we want unless something changes. We can even look at Amenya. We can even look at it on the flip side. We're a great defensive side. Take nothing away from our defenders and the new recruits. But if we're a good defensive side and we're signing new players, they're obviously good anyways. But there's probably a bit of positive tax that's applied. You're putting good players into a great defensive system. You've got a mediocre, you've got great attackers, but we have a mediocre kind of system in an attacking sense. As I said, it's above my pay grade. So that's what I said. If it continues like this, I can't see a future where you don't get many, where you get more than 15 league goals. Of course, if we get some penalties,
That's
great.
calm. I can see the guy standing right.
Change 20 plus, bro.
He is the change. The guy standing right next to him in that image is the change that we're
so that's why I'm asking you. So you're of the belief you just slap these new players on the pitch and we're doing the thing.
Bro, at the end of the day,
everything stays the way it is now.
At the end of the day, in some scenarios, player ability can carry, bro. There's some times where it's just put hoopers on the field and you will cook.
True.
I agree with the
that.
foundation already. The foundation is there. The back four, Zubimendi, Rice, everything is there.
I agree with that.
Sometimes let hoopers hoop, bro. There's not a lot that has to change. It's not as though we're a million miles away from every team, bro.
I hear you.
People speak about like they're angry at Arteta for talking about like, you know, deserve against PSG. Me, I don't really believe in like deserve too tough. If you deserve it, you would have got it. But at the same time, who was man of the match in those games? Donnarumma. Does that not tell you that? Boom, we were making chances. We were unlucky in a way.
Again, you can count on one hand them chances.
PSG are still fantastic, but Donnarumma was making mad saves, bro.
Donnarumma's cool. And Sunday
we got to
play him again.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Well,
it's gonna get long. Yeah, okay. So you're saying letting hoopers hoop, and I don't disagree with you. You kind of saw hoopers hooping against Forest, but there's 38 games. We're looking at 50 plus. You're not. I can't go with that. Individuality is not going to take you out the hood.
Odegaard there, Nwaneri there. I'm sorry. If we're all right with 50 Gyökeres goals,
I didn't say, bro, don't twist my words. I didn't say I'm all right. I just don't want to lie to you. From what I see, I can't see any attacker really thriving right now.
We know he's not going to be. Well, but he's thriving. He's got goals so far, no?
He's thriving, but again, at some point, we spoke about Liverpool, right? If Liverpool if Liverpool don't improve and they keep doing what they're doing right now, they're getting the rub of the green. At some point, the performances and the results are going to correlate. At some point, we're going to look at Gyökeres and say,
"Are you saying that we're not playing very well? Are you saying that we haven't?"
No, I've been very consistent that we just need to improve in the final third. I said this when we got 5 against Leeds, in which we scored 5 against Leeds. If everybody's honest, there's still issues there. There's still issues against Forest. There's therefore still issues against Bilbao. There was therefore issues against Liverpool, even the point where people were saying Madueke is our attacking outlet, which he was. But when you really strip it back, it weren't really nothing. This is what I said in that this needs to change. This has been here this year. This was still here last year, and I'm not expecting it to change. But if it doesn't, you're never going to see these guys thrive to their full potential.
So, cool.
You're not.
We've been asked a question about the entire season. So, in your opinion, now, so I'm asking you: do you believe we're going to set up like this for the rest of the season? And if so, then is that your prediction? 15 goals. You believe these first 5 games?
I think the defense is going to, of course, we're going to evolve. We're going to box smart. When man are fit and, you know, fitness and form, and maybe Arteta just wants to try things. You're going to see little loose things change. But broadly, how we play, being structured, pressing, invertedness, that's not going to change. Clearly, I think Arteta is not an idiot. He has to find a way to, you know, let Eze do his thing. If he's going to start out wide, play a bit more centrally, which I actually, unpopular opinion, I'm with you in that I think Eze should be playing in the 10. But I think people are doing too much about him on the left. Obviously, I hear all the talking points, but he's not actually playing as a traditional left winger. There's a bit of traditional things he has to do. He's incredibly narrow. I don't even have his heat map. So Arteta is doing that. But to me, as a basic football fan, the 5 games I've seen now and the last 5 games of the season, do I think we're dramatically better in the final third? No. So I can't sit here and expect Eze to get the numbers you got at Crystal Palace. Madueke to show us a bit more. Obviously, these men are going to be in the box. You have to do your thing. Gyökeres to do whatever he needs to do. Odegaard to maybe challenge for the assist. There's something there. Like, I don't know if you are actually watching the games or you're just watching Arsenal. Like, what's going on here?
No, my question.
I'd stop saying I expect 15 league goals. I never said it like that.
So okay, so clarify then. Clarify your sentence then once and for so. What do you? No. Just in one line. How many? Because we cannot see the future of what's going to happen.
Okay,
with
all
right,
cool. Cool. All right.
In your opinion, yeah, how many goals do you demand from Gyökeres this season?
Define goals to me. Since you want to do the PR thing, define goals to me. Because there's many goals. Goals could be scoring goals. Goals could be ambitions in life.
Put the ball in the net. That's it.
Metaphorically,
it's not offside.
It's a dance and getting the numbers, putting the goal in the back of the net, or it could be traditional football.
You've got to define or something, bro. What's going on here, bro? What's going on? I just asked you a question. How many goals are you demanding from this incredible signing that we've spent 60,
I
65
can't demand anything. I am not working for Arsenal. I can't demand anything.
Then let's lock off the stream then. Nobody should ask us any questions, all right?
No,
Nobody should
okay,
ask us
cool.
questions.
All right, I'll answer it. If nothing changes and I keep seeing what I'm seeing,
No,
I don't think you're getting more than 15 league goals.
No,
In an ideal world, I expect 20. Are we happy? Everyone happy?
I'm satisfied now. I'm satisfied.
Why for that? I hear it. Right, big up yourself for the super chat, man. This guy's a madman. I can't lie. All these Chelsea fans keep saying world class everything, and I personally know 2 of these people. I can't do it no more. One love for the super chat. Stop listening to Chelsea fans, but keep the receipts, because when they won the Club World Cup, people were saying they're favourites for the champs and this, that, and it's only been game week 1. But and all of those things. I just want the same energy afforded to Arsenal, because there's a lot of pylon, there's a lot of micromanagement, there's a lot of people who don't support our club that can tell you how much Arteta spent, how long he's been here, how many times he's probably slept on the left-hand side of his bed. No other team is really scrutinized like that. And I want the scrutiny. I want the smoke. I don't care if you're not connected to Arsenal. I don't really care about your opinions. I just want fairity. But as Amenya could say, as I could say, it's never going to happen, innit? There's a bit of a weirdness about our football club, but expect the hate, embrace the hate.
The funniest part is the team that have the highest standards for what Arsenal should be expecting are United fans. What's going on there, bro? So them are not happy for Amorim to be 15th. They're like, yeah, you know what? We can see what's cooking. But when it comes to Arsenal, they're the ones demanding that they must win the league, they must win Champions League, they must win everything.
Agenda.
For their own club, yeah, Amorim, no, it's calm. Like, we can see what's happening. I don't know why other clubs think they are the standard bearers for what Arsenal should be doing. So nah, I don't want to hear it.
They're on us, bro. They're on us, but bring it. We want all the smoke. And you know what? When that day eventually comes, I can't tell you when it eventually comes, and we win something, it's lit. I do want to ask you as well, yeah, because I don't want to miss out anything. This is why I like doing content with you, but I hate it because it's doing content with my brethren. We go a bit left with it, people. But yeah, man, where is it? Talk to me about City, man. I got some things to ask you. City, the big one, the rivalry. Take it away.
Yeah. City are a very strange one, but you know what it is? Haaland right now is, I'll say the form of his life, but he's always like, he's going to be in this kind of form quite a lot throughout different seasons, especially like August, September time. This brother goes crazy.
He's scary, man.
We ain't got that kind of Emirates game early on in the season, so it's a bit appreciated, KJ, bro. So Haaland is obviously a very scary one. City have been a little bit weaker this season, but I do believe people are still sleeping on them. I had them to finish in my top 8 in the Champions League group phase.
Wait, what?
And group phase, Champions League. I had them top 8 in the group phase, and people were shouting like, "No, what are you talking about? Like they're meaty." One thing I will say though, defensively, they can be got at, bro. I don't rate Ait-Nouri whatsoever. Obviously, Mateus Nunes as right back, again questionable. So I think they can be got at, and I'm hoping Rodri continues looking as shaky as he has been last couple of games. I'm not gonna lie to you. Obviously, he's returning from a long-term injury, but he has looked a little bit shaky. So I'd like to think we can capitalize on that. But again, it all depends on, I guess, our mentality going into the game. One thing that we do know now is that Arsenal at the Emirates don't have a reason to fear City, right? We've put 5 on their head. We beat them the previous season. Late got, yeah, bro, like, you know, Nwaneri's coming in bagging, Lewis Skelly's coming in bagging. So we have no reason to fear them in terms of previous results.
I might be making this up, but didn't even Odegaard score? Or he done something in one of the games?
It was Lewis Skelly, Havertz scored, Nwaneri scored. Odegaard didn't.
I might be thinking the year before. Rice had an influential
role. We scored so many
role,
goals, innit? We scored so many goals that sometimes.
Yeah.
You start forgetting who bagged. Why is this guy saying, "Have I apologized to Martinelli?" By the way, I'm the one that's been riding out for this guy, bro. You bring in the wrong guy.
He's been riding out for Martinelli.
That's where his name is real Gabriel Martinelli. I hear it, but I owe nobody an apology. I'm the one that's been backing him, saying, "Bro, give the brother a chance, bro. He's still got something in the tank." Expectations for Arsenal City. I mean, I'd love to see a little 2-0 win, right? That would be nasty. A cheeky 2-0 win, clean sheet. Ooh, I wouldn't be mad. But also, we got to respect City, right? Erling Haaland is Erling Haaland. He can get a chance out of nothing. I think it'll be a really big game. Well, Saliba might be available, to be fair, this weekend. So I'm not 100% sure if Mosquera will play. But if Mosquera does play, I think that would be the biggest test of all of, like, if you can pattern Erling Haaland in the way that with all due respect, yeah, Gabriel and Saliba have patted Haaland's head a lot of times, at the Emirates especially. Like, Haaland doesn't have a good time with him whatsoever. So I would say, yeah, give me a 2-0 win, man. Let me see Mosquera shining. Let me see Gyökeres doing their Selly. Let me see Lewis Skelly back against City again, bro.
Amen.
What about you? What are you telling me for the game?
It's a techie one, Amenya, man, because I do think people sleep on City. I still think they can get at teams. I don't have them fighting for the title, but quote unquote fighting for the title. As you kind of alluded to, defensively they could be got at. And for a large part, we was talking about the attack. I don't know how Arteta fixes stuff, but regardless of even if we win or lose, I'll be very disappointed if we don't put that defense under extreme pressure. I should be seeing about 10 minutes of Donnarumma saves, a bit like Paris Saint-Germain. I think they could be got at. Naturally, they got embarrassed. Like, they used to slap our heads. We said we'll buck you at the Etihad and all the stay humble stuff. They lost 5-1. Pep Guardiola against Arteta. There's going to be a bit of that. This is a rivalry now. We've seen a lot of scenes after the games. So I think we need to go for it. And I don't want to. I know it's in the title. I don't want to do too much about making a statement and things like that. We didn't win at Anfield. We still got to go to the Etihad, another ground we struggle at. But because it's the first couple games of the season, I do want to see us get a result against a team that's expected to win and fight for a title, and the team like City that's been doing their thing. I think it's going to be one of them where probably the trailers in the build up to the game and what we actually see in the 90 minutes ain't really going to be that exciting, with the exception of the last season. That was the only time City versus Arsenal, definitely for Arsenal fans and probably for the neutrals, was exciting. It's just a case of, for me, obviously Arteta's an overthinker, Pep's an overthinker, and they've got the better of each other on occasion. I'm keen to see what Arteta does. Like, do you keep Calafiori in, or do you bring in a Miles Lewis Skelly? Do you keep Mosquera, or do you bring in Saliba? Do you go with Marino in midfield, or do you bring in Eze? Do you bring Martinelli off the left? Do you put Marino up front and drop Gyökeres? What do you do on? I'm exaggerating, but what do you do on the right hand side, for example? Like, game management and going into the game. But I can't lie, man. I'm exaggerating, but it's unacceptable if we don't get 3 points. I smell blood, man. I think they're there, man. Yeah. The only thing I would say is, like you said with Haaland, our centre-backs have done well against them. I only ask you to win the war. You will lose battles. Like, Haaland can score as long as we win. That's all that matters. The one thing I would say with City is they've got 3 decisive factors. You've got the big bad bully Pep Guardiola. Football's decided at both ends. You've got a serious goalie in Donnarumma. You've got a serious striker in Haaland. I actually trust Mikel Arteta to nullify the midfield of City. Obviously, they're in both teams, more so City. They've got them cute and clever players in the pockets that can make something happen. So I think it's literally, I actually think this is decided by, if we smell blood, go for it and take our chances. I'm always confident in our defense, even if we go and ship free. I just need to know we're going to put the ball in the back of the net. And you're going to see Gyökeres ain't going to get too much change. I promise you. You're going after this year, the next stream we do, you're going to say, you know what, DJ, I see what you're talking about. Gyökeres might score. He's going to start.
I didn't disagree with you at any point. I didn't, of course.
You
again,
did.
We're playing against it. No. I merely asked you, do you expect it to be the case the entire season? That's what the premise was. Because I'm expecting Eze to start playing centrally eventually, Odegaard come back and whatnot. But I agree that
why are you expecting Eze to be playing centrally? Who is telling you he's going to be there?
Because I'm watching Mikel Marino play there, and I don't like it, and I'd like to think.
But it don't matter what you like. That's what the manager was. No, that's a man that scored a hat-trick.
So let me finish the sentence. At some point, Arteta will see it and be like, you know what, Fairs. At some point, let me stop running this Mikel Marino midfield team, because for last season as well, again, we bought the brother as a midfielder. He was so less than good, let's say, but like that they chucked him up front and he started bagging goals. So big respect to him for bagging goals. But we can all see with our eyes, this midfield don't bang, bro. If Mikel Marino is in that trio, it's not.
But these are them games he will start. I don't want it.
He probably will. Games. That's why I'm agreeing with you. But like, eventually, I expect it to change as the season progresses. I understand it's a big game here. They're gonna overthink things rather this early on. It might be a lot cagier than, let's say, like a March or April game where they start putting the trailers with the dramatic music and everyone's going crazy. It's a bit too early for all that now, the same as it was at Anfield as well. But at the same time, you have to make a statement and start opening gaps on these teams, because they've lost twice already, right? Bournemouth slapped them.
They had back-to-back defeats going into Man United.
Yeah, and beating United, let's be honest, like, although you have to respect,
you should be beating the small teams that are struggling, that are fighting relegation.
Not like anything good to be surprised about. But maybe if I'm looking at concerns other than Erling Haaland, I'd say how well Zubimendi does with the Tijani Reinders runs, man.
Well, Zubimendi's a bad boy.
No, but it's not.
Rangers
It's
was
not
shit
him,
against
it's not about
United,
him
man.
not being a bad boy. It's not about him. It's just Tijani. Like he makes them kind of crazy runs. There. You watch Milan, you watch Netherlands for the last 2 years. He makes them galloping
First
runs.
game of the season against Wolves.
Exactly, like the kind of runs that we talk about Rice doing, for example. Imagine like Rice on the other side going up against Zubimendi. He's not the most physical guy as Zubimendi, innit? He's more like an intelligent guy. Again, the quick passer, tempo dictator. If he gets wrong side of Tijani, yeah, it could be a long day. It could be a long day.
You're right, yeah, but you see when you keep talking about Eze centrally, you keep speaking about Marino, which you're right, he does play in midfield. Not everyone's convinced by it, but you're conveniently forgetting that if Kai Havertz is fit, that might be an option, and you're forgetting the captain Odegaard. What gives you confidence that Odegaard, if it's not a like for like with Eze and Odegaard, and it might even be a change with either Zubimendi or Rice dropping out and you fit Eze in? Where are you getting this expectation that these things are gonna happen?
No, but I said both of those. I said whether it be Eze or Odegaard. I said whatever. You're making my point even more. When Odegaard is back fit and the choices are Odegaard or Eze or Ethan Nwaneri, Mikel Merino will not be the one that's picked first.
Yeah, but how do you know Odegaard? If it's a choice between Odegaard and Eze, how do you know, or why do you expect Odegaard to be dropped?
I didn't say he'll be dropped.
So how's Eze going to play in midfield?
Because Odegaard is injured, as in right now, is the point what I was making for you. I said when Odegaard is back.
You said later in the season. Wind it back. You know how these R&B youths are, people.
We can rewind whatever. The pecking order, in my opinion, as far as, let's say, the 10s go, or whatever. Well, they're not 10s, but you know what I mean. The most advanced 8. Right now, it's Odegaard, it's Eze. And then in my opinion, not what Arteta's would be, I would then have Ethan Nwaneri and probably everyone else, and then Mikel Merino in the midfield. But obviously, I'm not Arteta. But I still believe for Arteta, again, with everyone fit, Merino will be the third choice out of those. But in bigger games, especially away from home, I can see him playing Merino over Eze in midfield if we don't have Odegaard available. Does that make sense now? If Odegaard is fit, he's playing, bro. That's his captain. That's his guy. He's going to play.
Let me ask you something on the Odegaard thing, yeah, because I do think, why does this keep playing this? We might get hit by copyrights. But obviously, we all understand, you, me, everyone in the chat, football's changed, innit? As much as the core principles stay the same, football has changed. You got to be a decent goalkeeper with your feet generally. You got to do all the pressing and all the other stuff away from scoring the goal as a striker and everything in between, right? Obviously, when we look at Eze, when we look at Odegaard, as fans, our first thought, you lot are creative players. Go do your creative, break lines, dribble, goals, assists, all of that kind of stuff. In a Mikel Arteta system, Odegaard leads the press. He's very experienced with the press. He does all of that, assuming he's fit. Like, are we looking at this, maybe not so much City, just broadly, are we looking at this the wrong way in a term of Eze's more creative, potentially some would say, than Odegaard, or more so Merino? Is it the other facets, like the positions you take up on the field, all of that kind of jazz, as to why these men might play? Because Eze might not be up to speed with that. I think he could do it because he done it under Glasner and all that. But are we potentially not asking ourselves the right questions?
I mean, we can play both Eze and Odegaard. I don't see why that's like a...
Yeah, but do you see Rice or Zubi dropping out? I'm with you.
No, not in the midfield. So then Eze would be like out wide, isn't it? Like Eze is going to be an option out wide as well. So if they're both on the... And against teams where we know they're going to maybe sit deep and whatnot, that is when now I expect Eze will play on the wing ahead of like a Martinelli. With, again, we know as much as I can back Martinelli, if it's against a super, let's say, low block team, he's not going to be the one that's
bench, man.
Be breaking them down, especially when it's like a 0-0 or whatever. So at that point, this is why I say Eze out wide, Odegaard will be in midfield. And at that point, and then let's say Saka's back as well, that 3 behind Gyökeres, that is when I start to expect the goals that I was talking about before. Do you see my point now? When those players are available against those teams that normally maybe we tend to struggle a little bit, I'm demanding numbers, bro.
We need numbers. DG, what is your position on the midfield setup? We gave Man City possession even in the 5-1, 1-0 home wins. I mean, off the ball work, any sensible fan should expect on Sunday. I don't expect that to change. I don't want that to change, really. So what you're saying there, I expect these things to stay the same. These are the things positively I like about Mikel Arteta. So yeah, keep it up, man. That's what we want to see. What's your score prediction then?
In an ideal world, my heart one. Yeah, 8-0. Like, no. I would love to see like a professional 2-0 win. I don't even care if like the 5s anymore. Just give me like a professional 2-0 win. Everyone's angry. Gary Neville's fuming. Jamie Carragher saying we're a disgrace to football. We get a clean sheet and we leave.
You weren't even that good. Yeah. Arsenal fans enjoy your weekend. We got 3 points.
But Do I see us keeping another clean sheet? I'm not sure, you know. So give me like a 2-1. A 2-1, and
I'm going
it's
2-1 Arsenal as well.
bro. I'll take a 2-1. Preferably like we go 2-0 up and they start pressing and they might get like a late goal, you know, but then we hold on for like a 5-10 minutes, bro. That's what
I think 2-1, they take the lead within the first 5-10 minutes, and then we just turn on the style and do what we need to do, man. So, boy. So then, Amenya, the last thing for you.
Okay.
Henry, obviously, I'm not going to read all of this, but long story short, Henry said it's a must this year to win something. It's a must. You can't hide. He's speaking about Arsenal. Where do you stand with that? I think he's right. We do need to win something.
Yeah. I mean, of course he's correct. At the end of the day, like, obviously, we have won FA Cup from 5 years ago now. So, you know, big up for the FA Cup. We've obviously got the couple international Super Copa de Anglaise as well. But like, aside from that, now we want to look at the big dogs. You know what I mean? It's a good 3 trophies to have in the collection so far. But we do need to see. I mean, I'd love a Champions League. Obviously, I think we all would. I think, to be fair, I don't know if it was you or someone. People were asking, would you prefer Prem or Champs? I think you said Prem. Me personally, big up the Prem.
I said Champs.
Oh, okay, it probably was someone else. I can't
remember.
They
lie. You see how this guy's been lying?
No, but that's why I asked. Was it? You see, I didn't say it was you. I asked. I don't know if it was you or someone else because I couldn't recall. But someone said the Prem. For me personally, the Champions League is the one, bro. Get that all done. The Prem, I think, is harder to win, but that's a whole other convo because.
Oh, are you sure?
No,
you reckon?
I believe so. And you're gonna say, oh, but we
haven't. I think there's logic with both. I don't think there's right and wrong, but let us know your thoughts.
I think the Champions League requires a lot more luck to win, which we haven't had. So let me make you the best example I can give you. The Champions League, okay, the Premier League, every season, the best team that season wins it. But the Champions League, the best team in Europe does not always win it.
Some people would say we were better than City, though. Remember that year when we led for however many years? Yeah, days and then whatever.
But the table didn't show it, so City were better.
Like, but then that applies to the champs because people could say Real Madrid
because we know there have been times. Let's, for example, we'd all love to be in Chelsea's shoes in terms of winning the Champions League, right? But let's also be honest. Chelsea's both their Champions League wins you could argue, 2 of the media teams to win the Champions League, right? Out of all the Champions League winners, you could very much make the argument that a lot of teams who win the Champions League aren't always.
I'm here for the Chelsea side. I ain't stopping you.
So that is why I say, like, obviously, I'm not saying you just need to get lucky and you win it. Of course, you have to be a very competent team as well. But I'm just saying, in the Premier League, it's harder because you have to be far more consistent and be the best team for 38 games.
There's more margin for error in the Prem, though. 38 games.
Right now, I'm still not sure, you know, because again, you lose 1 game, 2 game here and there, and it starts looking.
No, logically, let's just assume if Liverpool, God forbid, if they lost the last 3 games in a row, it doesn't mean they're out the title race. You lose 3 games in the knockout stages, you can't lose.
But then if they end up going to win the Premier League, it's because they were the best team overall. Because that would mean that we then, you know, drop points or whatever. I'm not saying that.
Look at Liverpool last year.
They're both very difficult. That's why, again, we haven't won it. But I'm just saying you need a lot more luck to win the Champions League, which we haven't had, right? In the Champions League, you could literally pull up in, let's use PSG, right? Tough example because they were the best team in Europe. But in terms of what I'm about to say here, the first half of the season, they were kind of average, right? We slapped their head 2-0. We kind of patted their head like good boys.
And then everyone bought into Luis Enrique.
You know, Dembele goes central. They change things. And all it takes is like 2-3 months of being solid. And you've won the Champions League. You've won the treble even. They ended up winning in the end. Again, Liga, and we're not going to count that because whatever, cool. They're going to win that every year. But Champions League, once you get past the group phase, it's what, 7 games? Cool.
Margins for error, though. Do you know what it is for me, Amenya? It's if we go off last season, like I think the Real Madrid game summed it up. I think we made our own luck. I think Arteta, the boys, everything tactically they did spot on. I think people are very disingenuous to my football club. Oh, for weak in Real Madrid, that's great. Look at our starting 11 for one, and then tell me anything. And we never had Magalhaes and a half-fit Saka. And then look at Real Madrid. If you say they're weakened and all this, I saw Tchouaméni, I saw Camavinga, I saw Mbappe, I saw Rodrigo. The list kind of goes on. So it was great. It was competent. And what I mean by we made our own luck is kind of what I want to see in the league. Like, I do think we look at football logically. We defended well against Madrid. We thought about how they could harm us. And then you've got that stuff where Declan Rice, his own teammates expected him to cross it. He smelt blood. He went for it. That's for me making your own luck. Then I look at the PSG game and I have two things to say. I actually think in the second leg, it was a valiant effort, but it just came down to competency, whether it's because of injuries, what we did or didn't do in January or the summer. We just didn't, we just never had enough. And then in the first leg, which is what gives me more confidence this season, because we've got depth and we've got more like in Mascara and Madueke, for example, just they might not be better than the first options, but plug and play. You saw too much of a drop off. Partey obviously came out the side. Declan Rice went back into the six and he was finding his feet. Marino went back into midfield. And you saw a team that, because that has been my thing for the last 2-3 years, excluding this year. You move 1-2 pieces. We got one issue. We move 1-2 pieces, and then you start to see it. So for me, against PSG, it kind of comes down to competency. For me, I actually see both sides. You know, I don't think there's a right and wrong answer. I think you can say it's harder or easier to win the champs, and the same with the Prem. I think in Arsenal's case, maybe it's because we're engrossed in the Premier League for me, and we're seeing it week in, week out. And obviously, we've been second, and we've sniffed at it in the top 6 record and all this. I think it's. If I had to bet money, I'd say the Prem. It feels like the Prem's more kind of realistic. But then, as we both said at the start, we got to a quarters, we got to a semis. You never know, and it just feels for me as well. I don't know how you feel about this. It feels like Arsenal, and again, I don't really care about rivals, but specifically Arsenal. Yeah, in fact, not even Arsenal. Mikel Arteta's team, like Mikel Arteta and the players. It feels like we get a lot more credit abroad, if that makes sense. Like Ernesto Valverde, very complimentary. And you are why I think there's no wrong answers. To be fair to your point, yeah, it feels like there's a lot more space. Obviously, Bilbao was probably the shittest example apart from the second half, but I don't know. If you had to bet money, then, because it's the way to say, if you had to bet money, Arsenal are going to win the Prem or the champs. Obviously, I'm not saying you're saying they're going to win it, but if you had to bet money, what avenue are you going down?
For this season, I'd probably, if I had to go with something, I'd probably say the Premier League.
Fair.
I probably would say that. Purely because, again, I know Arsenal have improved on last year, or I'd like to think so anyway, in terms of the players brought in and whatnot. And Liverpool, there is potentially a scenario. I'm not saying, again, it will happen, but you've asked me to pick one. So there's potentially a scenario where, boom, without Trent, again, the Salah thing is not really clicking with whether it be Frimpong, who wants to play on the wing as well, or Bradley, whoever it may be. Maybe Isaac Ekitike. There might be something along there during the season. Like, I don't know. I'm hoping that things can get a bit dodgy. But again, the same thing with Champions League. You have to hope that you get a lucky draw. For example, like I said, when you go to the knockouts, some teams you're going to get the hardest team immediately, and then boom, you're out. You don't even get a chance to build into it. So I would say the Premier League, if I had to put money on one of them.
It's techie, man. Listen, all I hope is that we win silverware. I think I think the fans and the players, man, because I don't want to go down the other way. As much as I admire Arteta, there will have to be conversations if we come up short in whatever context is, because we're not getting over the line. I think we've got all the tools. I think there's going to be bumps and bruises. We're not going to win every week, even though we'd love to. But I'm very bullish about our chances in May, man. All we can do is pray, innit? Whatever religion you are, all we can do is pray, man. So yeah, DG asks him the question. I know you saw it. What question? Because we can close on that. Like, I don't know. What question? I asked the question. I don't know. What question, KJ, before I let Amenya get out of here? What question? Anyone see it? You see it? I don't see it.
Nah, what's the question?
Oh, DG asks Amenya if he agrees with VG, Victor Gyökeres scores 30 plus Premier League goals narrative going around your fan base. I'm not gonna lie, I think I ain't seen that. I don't know where he's finding that.
I didn't see that.
I don't know where. I don't know.
Is he hearing voices or
I hear voices in my head? Word to Randy Orton, like you're hearing voices.
Again, and what I'll say is, bro, if you saw it on Twitter, me personally, I don't take note of what anyone on Twitter.
If anything, man, I'm saying Gyökeres ain't the guy on Twitter. He's making stuff up.
Yeah. I don't. If an Arsenal fan says something on Twitter, most likely I don't agree with it. There's your answer. I don't agree with it.
Man, I'm going with two rogue guys in the YouTube comments and saying that's all Arsenal. That's one thing I hate. You know, one rogue Arsenal fan speaks for thousands / millions. You know, it's jarring. I bet a man 2 zips. Listen, they're doing whatever they're doing. You need to take them questions over there, man. I don't know what's going on over these sides. Don't throw all us Arsenal fans under the same towel, man. Amenya, this has been cold, man. Let people know they can find you, all these things.
Yeah, my at is over there on, YouTube, TikTok, IG. You know what it is, man. The at username, whatever you man call it on these days. I saw, here, my man. This guy first he said that I hated on Martinelli. Now he's saying VG40. That would never ever happen, bro. He could be on 39. I still wouldn't tweet that, bro. I'll do that. I'll shamelessly do that at the end of every game, but I ain't putting no 40 GA, bro. But
don't listen to SLG, man. He's known to cap on people. And comedy star, I do agree, man. I do agree, man. I do agree with what Henri said. Like we're good enough, innit? Like I think we're good enough to make a meal of this. And purely, I don't know if anyone agrees with me. Cool, people can laugh at Arsenal for second again, ole. But if you're bantering us about being second and getting to semi-finals in the champs, regardless of how it pans out, we're literally closer to getting over the line than going the other way. So I hope we can do a thing, man. But Amenya's told you where you can find him. His YouTube channel is in the title. Make sure you're following him on TikTok or Instagram. I can't lie, I think he does great YouTube content, but the Instagram content, that's my first stop. Not even Instagram, but I'd say TikTok. My first stop when, like, for instance, his Champions League nights. The guy does great stuff, man. I don't know why you stopped it, but the kind of like series you was doing, like you should do one about Sesko. You'd say like 100 players better than Sesko, and then you'd throw in, I don't know, someone from WSL.
Yeah. No, bro. Ugarte was the last one, innit? But I keep it like once a month. I don't want to like over rinse it. You know what I mean?
This guy was even having people in Mexico and other countries teeth in his content. Biting a man's whole flow. But yeah, people, man, we're gonna let Amenya get out of here. Smash the like button, people. I'm back again at 7:30. We're gonna watch Newcastle against Barca. Up the Gunners. Hopefully we win against City. We're out. Amenya, done though, my guy.
Appreciate it, dog. Let's see that same goal over and over again, man. Here we go. Get ready, guys. You've never seen this goal before.
Anyone, everybody, stop. Let me get my book.
Never seen this goal before. Come on. Bro, put the goal up, man.
Do you not see what this is?
Goal, man.
Amenya, what's this?
It's a piece of paper.
No, it's the list of goals you can rise up on YouTube, my G.
Is it?
Is it? Show yours. Rise up yours. Where's yours?
I don't have it on my hand, though. I don't have it on a piece of paper or something, bro. The guys want to see the goal, man. Guys in the chat, you want to see the goal, right? You want to see the goal.
Individuals like this, yeah. When I line up 5 or 7 aside for us Arsenal content creators, I'm going to give him the invite and I'm going to hot him up. Look, man, them flexing under 7s trophies. You paid for
bro,
that, mate.
That was my prime. Let the thing zoom, bro.
You paid to be a baller, bro.
No, why is not zooming, bro?
Participation trophy.
Sportsman of the year. Sportsman of the year, bro. Invincible trophy.
Do you want me to go and get mine? Man, yours can fit on the flipping on that. Mine's got boxes, bro.
It goes up, you know. There's this leg. You can't see the camera. It goes further, bro.
I don't see no player of the year. Nothing wavy. Nothing wavy.
Sportsman of the year 09-10, bro. That was my prime, bro.
How old is you in 09-10?
13.
People.
I was cold, bro.
Man, them were 13.
Come on, put on that goal, man.
Man, them it works for when their balls ain't dropped. Man, wait. Do you know how hypocritical this is? Why I'm not listening to him when he's saying the Gyökeres thing. Because a man said I'm rinsing the own goal, yeah, at the same goal. That's about 3-4 years. He's in his 20s and he's talking about 13. Make it make sense. Decision making coming like Nelly. And on that note, on Amenya, because Amenya
the closest one.
What have you got? Like, have you ever won Players Player of the Year?
Come on, guys. Just put on the goal, man. Come on, we're all waiting for the goal.
Have you won Players Player of the Year?
Have you from left back? Have you?
I have. Where is it? Show us.
I didn't say I have. I'm asking you.
You haven't won Players Player of the Year.
Bro.
Yeah, he won it. He's never did it.
I'm not doing the most popular person award. Congrats, man.
I'm on Victor. Do you know what? Yeah, it's like Victor Gyökeres listening to Charlie Austin chatting shit. I can't. But because Amenya wants this.
I guess this right back, Charlie.
The real centre back of the pair. Look at this long boot thing. This is what we do. Star by things only. All right, well.